Wisconsinites, this is Mary Jo Knapp at the Milwaukee County Historical Society for History at Home. The next group of videos we'll be making is going to be talking about the jobs that built Wisconsin. Our first job that we're going to be talking about today is about mining, and we have some nicknames for that. Our first nickname for Wisconsin is badgers. Badgers, as an animal, love to dig in the dirt. They love to get dirty. They love to make their homes inside the dirt, and they're not very social. Just like the people who used to be the miners in Wisconsin. The mining, you are digging into the earth. Sometimes you have to live in the dirt as you're doing that, and you get to be pretty tough and rumbly, and I'll tell you the reasons why in a little bit. So they were comparing the miners with the actual badger, and that's why we have the nickname as the badgers. Let's talk about what they mined here in Wisconsin. So the mining happened in the southwestern portion of Wisconsin, and they're mining for lead. We know that lead is poisonous right now in 2020, but we didn't know that for thousands of years. So they thought it was a great material to use. They used it on water pipes, they used it on paint, they used it on makeup. Lots of different uses lead was used for until we found out that it was dangerous. So they were mining for lead, but let's talk about this for a second. If you were a miner in Wisconsin, you had to mine about 1,000 feet below the surface of the earth. So if you think about that, 1,000 feet, that's a lot. I mean, I need to kind of think about that, how far deep down that would be. What would be some of the dangers of being 1,000 feet below ground? How would I get down there? What would happen when I'm down there? How am I going to get light? How am I going to get air? How am I going to eat? How am I going to get back up? Those are all things that I need you to start thinking about and how difficult this job might have been. Let's talk about 3 miners right now. 2 of them would be at the top of the hole of the mine, and 1 would be in the middle, about to get lowered into the bottom of that mine. 2 miners, 1 on each side, would have a pulley system, or what they called a windlass, and they would use rope and their muscles to take that person down in a sort of a bucket to the bottom of the shaft, 1,000 feet down. Now, several things have to happen during that time. Number 1, the gentlemen up on top who are using the windlass and the pulley system have to be really strong, because you're carrying someone up and down and you have to have control over what you're doing. Number 2, they have to be extremely trustworthy. They can't be fooling around. And number 3, they have to have a lot of attention. They have to focus and pay attention to what they're doing, because the life of the person that's going up and down that shaft is in their hands. Super important. The person in the middle has to be extremely courageous and trusting of the other 2 guys who are taking him down. So and he has to be really strong to be able to do all the mining down in the bottom, and they have to be pretty brave to handle whatever is going to be down there. So let's talk about those are the miners, okay? Now, when I go down, again, 1,000 feet, I'm not going to have as much clean air. I might be running into water, and a lot of water that I might get flooded. I might be hit with a major rock or boulder as I'm digging or using a pickaxe. I might have lots of different dangers. I might have to bring my pickaxe. I might have to bring my shovel. What about my lunch? What about water? Do I carry all that with me down there too? That's something that you need to think about. When I'm down there, I need to figure out how I'm going to light that. It's going to be super, super dark. So imagine a baseball hat, boys and girls, and then putting your lantern on top of it. This is a carbide lantern, okay? And a carbide lantern would attach to the hat of the miner. Now, this lantern doesn't have any light bulbs. It doesn't have any batteries. It's done by chemicals. So this has the carbide on the bottom. On the top, you would pour water. the chemical reaction comes out with the flame right here. So I'm talking about putting a flame on top of my hat as I'm digging. Anybody see any problems with that? Does anyone see any dangers? It might hit my head, right? Remember, I'm just using that soft cloth hat. It might fall down, it might burn, I might get burned. All of those things might happen. So this was one of the early technologies before they had batteries and light bulbs. So this was called a carbide lantern. Okay, so this would be on their hats. Okay, so that's how they would get light. Do you think that would give a lot of light? Probably not. Okay, so they would get their lead, and then they would have to tell the people up on top to start bringing up the lead up to where they are. So it was a very dangerous job. You might have had lots of animals down there. You might have had boulders hitting you. You might have water rushing at you. It was a very dangerous job with toxic materials that they were breathing. So it stopped abruptly in about 1849 because in 1849 something happened in California. Real quick, California is on the other side of the United States. It's along the Pacific Ocean, and it has a completely different climate. They found out that they are going to have a gold rush. So people were rushing to California to dig their gold out so that they could make lots of money. Do you think they're making lots of money with mining, lead mining in Wisconsin? Probably not as much as gold mining. Plus, it's a nicer climate. So a lot of people went to a lot of people left Wisconsin in 1849 to go to California and do gold mining. So a lot of our mining quieted down by that time, and then we started with our next job, which we'll talk about next. Have a good day. Bye-bye.